Hey guys, Zerkaa here, and welcome back to our Millwall Career Mode series. And we're going to start this episode going straight into a game. And first of all, I'm going to apologise for the late upload tonight. It's going up. It should go up about 11 PM. I did ask out on Twitter whether I should upload it tomorrow or whether I should upload it tonight. And it seems like the general consensus was that I should upload it tonight. So that is what I'm going to try and aim for, as long as I can get it rendered and finished in time. We're going to start off this game again straight into. We're going to start off this episode going straight into our game against Norwich here. And you see, Norwich are actually 4th in the league prior to this game, so they're going to be a very tough opponent to face. I don't even know why Norwich are that high. I don't know what they've done. I don't know what they've done to their team. I don't know how they're playing. For some reason, they're doing exceptionally well. If you remember, they was actually in the Championship with us 2 seasons ago. They actually came second in Championship. In our second season of this series, they came second, where Swansea came first. And then we got promoted through playoffs. They got promoted the same time as us, and now they're achieving better than us. I don't know what they've done, but yeah, somehow they're doing really well. I see we're winning 1-0 at this point, and I make a tackle there. It's a bit rash, but it's actually after he shot. But the referee actually gave a penalty regardless. And watch replay here. Look, you'll see he shoots, and then I tackle. Usually that means that there's no penalty, but for some reason they gave it this time. So Rodriguez steps up to take this penalty against Cragno, and Cragno dives the wrong way. Rodriguez tricks him and goes down the right hand side, and he scores that penalty to equalise and make it 1-1. Apologies for my cough, it just won't go away, it's so annoying. See, Vidal had a shot there, took it on his right foot and then actually switched over to his left foot and put a finesse in the bottom left hand corner, but that was saved. From that resulting corner, the ball actually fell to Ake there, but he put that like dreadfully wide, I would say, from that angle, especially how close he was. I don't know how he put it wide. It was actually harder to put it wide than it was to actually get it on target. I broke through there with the Piazon on the right hand side. Definitely should have done better with that one, but I went for finesse, and for some reason he took it on his right foot. You'd expect him to take it on his left foot and go for that top left hand corner, but he didn't. Now some pretty slack defending here, allows them to pass across the goal, and Sermon scores there to make it 2-1 to Norwich, which is obviously very disappointing to actually happen. And I went all out attack to try and get that goal back. I shouldn't seem to find the goal. The goalkeeper kept him in it for a large majority of the game actually. You see he made a nice save there from Vidal. He also made a lot of other saves throughout the game to keep them in it. And then where, due to my frustration not being able to score, I do tend to sometimes just get a bit hasty with my tackling, and I do just tend to put tackles left, right and centre. I see that I'd put a lot of slide tackles in, and they actually scored to make it 3-1. But luckily, straight off the bat, I went straight away and scored to make it 3-2. But not that really helped. It was more of a consolation goal because it was 90th minute, and by this time it was actually like 93rd really, and the referee blew for full time as soon as I took off. As soon as they took the centre. So unfortunately we actually lost that game, and it's a shame because we was in great form prior to this episode and prior to this match even. But what can you do? I guess they're doing really well, so I can't really complain because they're doing well in the league. It's not like as if they were a team lower towards the bottom. They're actually a team doing very well in the league. So it's a bad result, I guess, but we can't really be too negative about it anyway. Now look at our youth squad monthly report, and I made a bit of a clear up this month in my youth squad, because I see there's a lot of players in here. The maximum potential has slipped quite drastically, and obviously that's going to happen because you're not going to get crazily good players every time, otherwise this game would be really unrealistic. So I basically released anyone that was roughly under 85. I left those 3 guys there just purely because I think one had 87, and so I had a maximum potential of 87, and was 15, so he still looked very good. There's another one with 86, and there's one with 83, but he was actually getting kind of older, and it looked like he actually could turn out to be an 83 player, so I kept him anyway, just for the likelihood that I could sell him on, just to make some tidy profit. Now I go into our next game here against Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa, again, a team wasn't doing too well in the league. They were doing quite well in the league even. But still another difficult opponent to come up against. They got a pretty solid side, especially after that loss there. I wasn't very confident going into this game. I tend to have this, like, I don't know if it's just a mental thing or it's something to do with some in-game like stats or something. Whenever I tend to lose on this game, I do tend to go on a bit of a losing streak. It's almost like it must be a psychological thing. I just tend to forget how to play FIFA. It almost seems like we sit there playing, and I don't know if I think too much or something, but it happens in Ultimate Team as well, and like I'll just forget how to attack. I'll forget how to break down a defence. I'll forget how to score, and I don't know if it's just the game or if it's actually me. And it's just something that's always puzzled me. I've always thought there must be something else in the game that affects, like, kind of like I don't want to mention this, but kind of like a momentum of your record of how you're running and how your run is. I'm sure. I know in career mode it does actually exist because the game does go a lot based on form. So if your team isn't playing well, they won't play. Like if the team hasn't played well in previous games, they won't play well in your new games that are coming up. But if your team's playing very well, then they'll continue to play well, as seen by when I won 7-0 and then went off to beat Man United 3-0. Yeah, I guess that's a bit confusing. I don't know if I just like rambled on there or not. But anyway, you can see here we was actually losing 2-1 in the 81st minute here against Aston Villa, pretty undeservedly, I would say. But then again, I wasn't being crucial enough with my chances, and the chances I was creating were typically most of the time just chances on the edge of the area, like that one, where you get like a slight inch and you see the chance to shoot and you shoot, and it comes to nothing. And they actually won that game 2-1, so that's another loss, 2 consecutive losses there. So pretty disappointing results, to be honest, especially considering our form that we was in. And it wasn't really what I was expecting, probably not what you was expecting either. And you can see here, we look at the league table, we're still sitting in 7th, we're doing alright, but there's a lot of teams in that league that have a game in hand over us. We've still got a crazy goal difference, to be fair. Still just a little bit disappointed in the fact that I started to lose. So I was actually starting to get a bit optimistic that we could finish higher than I even expected. But it seems like that might not be the case now. This is kind of like a back to reality kind of 2 games in two games that basically brought me back to reality and brought me back to real life, and what is realistically going to happen this season. We're going into our next game here against Derby, and Vidal picks up a goal there, a nice cut to the right hand side and shoots at near post and scores there. We're moving into the second half of this game, and obviously Derby are a team that were promoted this season. So they're a team that we definitely should be beating, and we made ourselves very dominant in this game anyway. It's a very dominant performance, and I don't think they really didn't have much of a look in this game. Vidal had a really good game actually. Vidal actually came into his own, and kind of was like the Vidal that he always used to be, the one that kind of like has basically controlled the attack, where in recent games the whole attack seemed to be doing very well themselves, where in this game it's definitely like Vidal was a stand-out player like he should be anyway, especially with his stats that he has. But he scores there again, so it scores his second goal for a nice header, a nice little run from Nascimento, to be fair, down the left hand side. And I've started playing Nascimento first, starting Nascimento, so to speak, because Martins da Costa is a player we have on loan from Real Madrid. And as I said in a previous, I think it might have been the last episode, I said that I might as well play Nascimento because he is my player. I actually own him. Where with da Costa, I don't actually own him. He's on loan from Real Madrid. So all the time I'm playing him, I'm just improving somebody else's player. Where if I play Nascimento, and then I'm improving my own player that I actually have. So I actually have a vested interest in Nascimento. Where with da Costa, he's kind of just like someone I just got in just to fill a place, like fill a void in my team. Where I shouldn't really do that because Nascimento is a very good player himself. Now look at the league table after that game. We actually won that game 2-0, so it was a very good result. And you see we're still sitting in 7th, and there hasn't been much change in the table at all, and Norwich are still up there as well. See, Derby are just outside of the relegation spot there in 17th. You see now that I'm actually going to go ahead and resign from manager of Portugal. I've been saying I'm going to do it for quite a while now, and you guys have been asking me to do so. So finally got around to doing it, and hopefully I'll get another job offer from someone who's actually going to be in the European Championships at the end of the season. Hopefully be someone like England or Spain. If it's Spain, it'd be good, because obviously I have Vidal in my team, so I can then put Vidal in the Spanish side. And I went out and set up some new scouting assignments. I sent one of my scouts to England for 6 months, because obviously he is from England, so I thought he might find some better players in England. I then sent Harry Brown to Spain for 3 months. I just thought I might be able to find some good players in Spain, considering I found Vidal is a Spanish player, so hoping I could find some more Spanish players to kind of help. Not help, but I just thought I might be able to find some other players that are similar to Vidal. The unrare likely chance that's going to happen, I know. But I thought I'd send them out there anyway. We're going into our next game here against Leicester, and as you probably saw, Leicester are pretty much down at the bottom of the table, and again they're another team that have been promoted this season. It's a pretty poor side, and again another game that we definitely should be winning, and losing is not an option against these kind of teams. And once again we put in another dominant performance, and Piazon picks up his goal here. Nice goal there. Cuts the left hand side and shoots with a rocket to the top right hand corner there. Goalkeeper had no chance, and put that away to put us 1-0 ahead. You see here from the replay, cuts the left hand side and then a rocket of a shot in the top right hand corner, and goalkeeper had no chance. Moving into the second half now, and Piazon picks up the ball here, does the defender with pace, and gets through. Looks definitely likely to score, and it gets a bit too close to that defender there. It gets tackled, but luckily he recovers and shoots, and it goes underneath the goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, and he scores there to make it 2-0. And that was pretty much game over. I couldn't see them coming back into this game because they didn't really provide much of a threat, to be honest, and I was just happy to get a second goal to give us a two goal cushion, because it's always pretty nerve-wracking in this game when you only have a 1 goal cushion going into the final minutes. But they had an attack here, a few attacks on the left hand side. Luckily it gets the better of our defender there, and then it's played around. Fitax picks up the ball again and then passes across goal to Marshall, who puts that away to make it 2-1. And that seems to be like the general kind of goal that the computer scores, is that pass across goal there. And it's just, my phone's going off. Put me off. But that game actually finished 2-1. Luckily, I managed to hold on to that result. I was actually a bit nervous, a bit some squeaky bum time at the end of that game there, and luckily we come away victorious. And Piazon picking up 2 goals in that game as well. So Piazon had a very good performance in that game. It was 1 goal off of a hat-trick. And you can see we're still sitting in 7th somehow. The table hasn't changed whatsoever. Norwich are now down to 5th opposed to 4th. Liverpool have overtaken those. We've actually scored 38 goals in this and conceded 19. We've got a plus 19 goal difference. We're doing very well in the goal difference kind of term of things. And that's the end of today's episode. If you have any feedback to give, then please leave a comment. And if you want to check out my Draw My Thing episode on the left hand side of the screen, then you can click that. If you want to check out my second channel, then you can click on the right hand side of the screen and it will take you there. And I shall see you guys soon. And until then, bye for now.